What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for something a little different today. Today we're taking a look at a G.I. Joe, and this is the JoeCon exclusive Steel Brigade Commander. And I saw this guy online. I've just kind of recently gotten into collecting some G.I. Joes, and I was so excited to see this guy. Now, there was a previous version, this one right here is Steel Brigade, and I saw him and I was real excited. But this one, as soon as I saw JoeCon had done this, I got super nostalgic, because I've got this guy who was my little mail away back from, I think it was like 89 or something like that. And you even got to make his name, you submitted it with whatever else you had to do, and you got a little bio thing with your character's name. So it was essentially you as a G.I. Joe. Now this is Bullhorn's backpack here. Probably one of the best backpacks of the old Joe age, where you had a sniper rifle inside there that you could build. But the proper backpack for this guy is this green one. And I'm not entirely sure this is his correct weapon. Yeah, it's the best one I could find. It looks pretty close. I think his is actually an M16 versus the M4 style. But yeah, this is the best one I could find for now. So when we come back to our commander here, you can see how he is similar. He does have the same backpack that the Joe many years ago had. He does have this awful gold paint app on here, and I'm going to take this off. I want to show you this, and I don't recommend doing this if you have this toy, but that is still sticky. I mean, that gold paint is sticking to my finger, so I really kind of want to get some alcohol or something and rub it off and put a new gold paint on there. I'm not a huge fan of that. Anyway, the accessories that our guy comes with. He comes with his helmet this time. If you go underneath, he's kind of sporting that beachhead look. For comparison, here's the retail version. You can see, again, same thing. The retail one does have much more interesting colors through the whole toy. More paint, such as on the combat vest and stuff. It's just a lot more colorful, but I'm just so much more nostalgic for this guy. You do have the bandolier that comes off. If you pop his head off, there is that like neck scarf piece there that you can take off. Of course, you get a base. It looks like he's got what looks like a FAMAS type rifle. I'm not really entirely sure what that is. He also comes with the M4/M16 style assault rifle, a combat shotgun, and a rocket launcher, which you can disconnect the rocket here. Now, my personal favorite is to actually have him having this particular rifle. I just think it looks best in his hands, and yeah, I just particularly like it. Coming down to his legs here, you can see he's kind of using the City Strike, or not the City Strike, Desert Strike Snake Eyes lower torso with the pouches and stuff here. When you come to this side, he does have a knife in his boot. I would probably like to give that some paint too when I get a chance. And he's of course got a sidearm here, and I was just completely blown away to see a little suppressor storage on the toy as opposed to somewhere else. And if you take your gun here, you can kind of plug it on in and give a nice suppressed little pistol. And I really like how that looks. I think that's pretty awesome. Now, one thing that always bugs me with G.I. Joes, they have great articulation compared to their size. I'm taking this off because it likes to keep falling out. They have some great articulation for the size of figure they are, but I always find myself wishing that there was always like one or two more joints on this guy. And one thing also to point out is that this guy is a lot more wobbly than my other one is. Actually, any of my non-convention Joes are not nearly as wobbly as this particular guy is. I'm not really sure why that is. Might take it out and explore it. But let's look at articulation. So your head is on a ball joint to give a fairly good range of motion all the way around. With the helmet on, it's not too impeded, and yeah, you can see he's still moving pretty freely underneath there. You get a nice range of motion on the shoulder, 360 in and out. That's not a problem. Elbow works real nice. It swivels all the way around, in and out. And then of course you got the wrist swivel. And this particular guy does not look like he's got a wrist rotation here. It kind of looks like it's molded in there, but I don't think that it moves, so I'm not really going to force it because I am not into forcing things that I'm not sure are going to move. You can take his vest off if you want, which does reveal the fact that he does have an ab crunch type joint up there. Coming down the waist, of course, you've got a waist, and this is where I wish there was a little more articulation on the G.I. Joe. So you can go all the way out, you can go all the way forward, all the way back, but there's no like rotational movement of the leg, which to me feels a little bit hindered at times when you want to kind of do something maybe a little bit rotated on there. It feels very unnatural, and I just kind of wish there was some kind of swivel there. Other than that, I mean, you come down to the knees and the foot, pretty standard fare here. Can rotate in and out. It's pretty nice. It's just, I think these one more little sets of joints would help. And the other thing that I want to point out, and I don't know exactly how you would fix this one particularly, but any Joe that you give their gun to, like this, there's really not enough joints on a Joe to get both hands on the rifle. Like sometimes you can kind of pull it off and then he's just kind of holding it with one hand other times. There's never a position that you can get his hand in that he's actually properly holding the rifle against his body, so it kind of more looks like he's actually using it properly. He's just not jointed that way. And that may be just asking for a lot, considering that, you know, these are generally $10 toys. They're not your Figure Arts level of articulation or anything like that. So before we end this, because we don't really need to go on too far, here's a couple more. We've got our Specialist Tracker, who I think is a fantastic use of the G.I. Joe license, and they should totally make more of those, but unfortunately I believe the line is currently indefinitely canceled. Here is Barbecue, and you know what? We can't leave without the Snake Eyes in there. So I really like this guy. I think if you're not really nostalgic for the character like I am, you can probably skip him and just go with the regular Steel Brigade guy. But I really like him, and I had to have him in my collection. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did like this, I know it was a little awkward because it's the first time I've done a G.I. Joe review. If you'd like to see more, especially if I have the old one to kind of compare to the brand new one, I would be happy to do it. Just leave it in the comments if it's something you'd want to see more of, or not. You know, leave that too if you just want me to stick with one thing. I can't promise I'll do that because it's my channel, but you know, I want to hear what you guys have to say. So this is T2RX6. I will see you guys next week.